Hi, my name is Cindy. I'm reading in Genesis, the first book of Moses in the Bible, and one of my favorite promises is found in chapter 22 when the Lord was talking to Abraham. He said in verse 16, "By myself I have sworn, says the Lord." Now the Lord has to swear by himself because there is no one greater than he is. So he said, "By myself I have sworn, says the Lord, because you have done this thing and have not withheld your son, your only son. Blessing I will bless you, multiplying I will multiply your descendants as the stars of the heaven and as the sand which is on the seashore, and your descendants shall possess the gate of their enemies. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice." Back in chapter 13, the Lord said it like this. He said to Abraham, "I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, so shall your descendants be." And when I think of the dust of the earth and the sand of the seashores, and Abraham's seed, his family, his descendants for generations, I think of those as being earthly things. And then the stars of the heaven. The Lord said in chapter 15 that count the stars if you are able to number them, and so shall your descendants be. And now he's saying it again, as the stars of the heaven. And heaven means to me a heavenly realm. And it's two verses in the Bible, I think, help me to understand that. Stephen the martyr in Acts chapter 7, he was being stoned to death, and he looked up into heaven, and he saw Jesus, the Son of Man, standing at the right hand of God. And the Apostle John in Revelation chapter 4, he was in the Spirit, and he beheld a door in heaven, and he was taken there, and the door was opened, and there was a throne set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. So to me, the heavens are a heavenly realm, a spiritual kingdom where God's throne is. Now, when I think of families and generations of families and descendants, I realized that in my life and in other people's lives, and most definitely in Abraham's life, not every single one of them believe in God, and not every single one of them come to faith in Jesus Christ. But God still kept his promise. He promised Abraham that he would be exceedingly fruitful, and nations would come from his descendants, and kings would come from his descendants. And that happened on earth, and it happened in the spiritual realm, because Jesus Christ was born in the lineage of Abraham. And Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the Messiah. And so that's where the third one comes in, where it says, "Your descendants shall possess the gate of their enemies." Now, just to backtrack 1 second, in the United States, there is a space administration called NASA, NASA, are the abbreviation. They say that there are 1 septillion stars in our galaxies, but that's just their best guess, because God said, if you are able to count them, if you are able to number them, and God knows that in our humanness, in our human finiteness, we cannot count them. And especially because Jesus is daily building a spiritual kingdom, soul by soul and daily, so that the numbers are increasing. And when he returns to earth for the second time, and he places his feet upon the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, he will take back what the enemy has stolen. He will possess the gate of his enemies, and he is and will be forevermore the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the King and the Lord. And that's an amazing promise that was not only for Abraham, but for you and me today. My name is Cindy. I hope to see you again soon.